Scissors, Paper, Stone. That's the little lick from that song, which was developed at the time when I was in Gießen. We had a great time. We built a guitar together. I was there for 5 weeks. And during the course, it wasn't this guitar, but that song was born during that time. And I met some really great local German songwriters and performers. We had a little get-together there, which was quite memorable. Anyway, as I said, it was not written on this guitar, because this one I actually got way before that. This is a Dreadnaught. You'll see that it's unusual. You may notice that it's 12 frets to the body. So a Dreadnaught, 12 frets to the body, and with this bridge here shifted back. So it's still a full 650 mil scale length, but it's just moved that headstock closer to the body. So for me, this is very comfortable to play. You know, I'm getting to the point where my left hand needs to be closer to the body for me to feel comfortable. So from that perspective, it was a great idea. I took it with a cutaway so that it still gave me access to the top, which I don't often use. I'm not really a lead player, but if that were to come up, I would be able to do that. There is a kind of a smoke and mirrors argument that if you place the bridge further back, it places it more into the center of this circle, which means that is the sweet spot from which the guitar can resonate better. I don't know about that. Anyway, I can tell you that this guitar resonates exceptionally. It's a wonderful guitar. It's got a spruce top. It's a gloss finish with a satin finish, rosewood back and sides. The guitar is probably about 10 years old now, so it's beautifully worn in. It's a big sounding guitar. It's a powerful guitar. It's got all those Dreadnaught attributes, which are great. You know, Dreadnaughts are songwriter guitars. Why do you need a Dreadnaught? Why do you need a big body? Well, because it's nice when you're sitting on your own. It's nice to have a full, rich accompaniment to the song that you're writing. So for that reason, jumbos and Dreadnaughts are considered songwriting guitars. I've reached a point now where I tend to prefer smaller body, and the reason for that is because, you know, we live in an era now where you can get a Fishman. I'm looking at it right there. That's a Fishman Mini amplifier, which is it has a rechargeable battery on it, so it's actually made for buskers. And I want to tell you something, that amplifier, when you plug a guitar into that Fishman Mini, it sounds extraordinary. So if you need volume, you can have an amplifier there. So the days of needing to have a big guitar for that reason has maybe fallen away a bit. Anyway, so what is it about this guitar that makes it unique? As I said, it's 12 frets. It also happens to be an open headstock here. So has the tuners facing backwards, which is notionally easier to operate. It is, however, more difficult to restring. I'm just mentioning that. But then I don't restring often because I have a number of guitars, so I'm not overusing any particular guitar, and I might have my strings on the guitar for anything up to 2 years, even though I'm gigging. And of course, one of the main reasons for that is that I use Elixir strings exclusively. I use Elixir phosphor bronze, and I kind of vacillate between 11 gauge and 12. This is 12 at the moment, and you know, I guess that's wanting to go back to 11 is a function of where the action is on the guitar. So, and the action changes whether we like it or not, particularly, as I said earlier, we're in the rainy patch right now, and this is wood. This is a living material. This is not carbon fiber, so it will respond to humidity, moisture, and so on. So the action on this particular guitar is super cool. There's a bit of positive bow on the neck, which I always like, so that I don't run the risk of rattle. Nonetheless, it has a close action because the saddle insert has been adjusted by myself. I tend to do that myself, and if you can't do it yourself, you do need to get somebody to do it. Get your guitar set up for you, because each person has different preferences. And if you do have, we don't have that down here a lot. We have very, very few good guitar techs around. So that's one of the reasons why I do it myself. But if you're living in an area where guitar techs are available, it's a good idea to have the guitar set up. Of course, like all Lakewoods, this has a truss rod, and I am familiar with adjusting a truss rod, and I do. So I check my necks frequently, and sometimes there's a small adjustment necessary. Of course, if you are switching gauges, then you do need to check with how much neck bend there is and how that's affecting the action. This has a 46 millimeter nut, which kind of is just right for me, but then I have monster hands, right? So when choosing a guitar, it's very important to choose the right nut width. For years I had a Yamaha FG 500, which at the time when I bought it, I thought it was a real Rolls-Royce guitar. It was a nice guitar. I don't think it had solid wood though, just maybe a solid top. But the neck was way too narrow. So for 30 years or however long I played that guitar, I was playing on a crowded neck. I was not able to develop my finger picking style because of that guitar. So the pickup that the guitar has is a kind of all of mine have the Anthem pickup, which is the piezo coupled with the microphone. Microphone, nice. Not only does it respond to all those sounds, which I think adds an enormous amount of atmosphere to the playing, but it also adds tonality to it, and you can adjust it, you can dial it in or out. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. It has a phase switch, which is important to master. Can make sometimes a very big difference. It's not always clear to me scientifically how that difference, because it doesn't always seem to be predictable. Sometimes you want the phase in, sometimes you want it out, and then of course, to complicate matters further, the amplifiers have a phase switch as well. So, but if you're on the wrong setting there, then you can have feedback. So it's important to realize that there's a phase switch there which needs to be worked with. You need to understand what it is and work with it. So next time I think I'll take you through my M31, which is an interesting guitar because it's 13 frets to the neck, to the body. But let me not get ahead of myself. You have a good day wherever you are. Enjoy the music, and if you're a songwriter, I wish you a good song. I wish you good lyrics. I wish you great melody. And till we next meet, cheers.